Shalom, friends. Welcome. Let's take a moment to arrive. I want to invite you to turn off other devices, to check your sound, to put headphones if you need, to bring a shawl if you need, anything that will really create a space that is comfortable for your meditation. And take your time to arrive. Transitioning from maybe waking up or maybe doing something else, depending on where you are in the world. And taking a moment to appreciate the luxury and the simplicity of taking 20 minutes in our day to sit. Just a moment to appreciate what you are doing by taking this time, these 20 minutes in your day to come to stillness and to contemplate. And that's really the meaning, the first simple pshat meaning of Hitbonenut, it's contemplation. And as a reminder, as opposed to other types of meditation, mindfulness meditation, and also other types of Jewish meditation that we do, such as Hashkata, which is very much about observing our thoughts, Hitbonenut is very different. It's perhaps closer to prayer in a way, because it's really meeting God, if I want to put it simply. How do I meet God? And perhaps some of you grew up, like I did, with this idea that God is this kind of bearded guy in the sky. And then it took a long way for us to realize, oh, it's actually this grace of life, this source of life that is everywhere, from my breath to the trees moving in the wind, to a puppy playing, to sand by the shore. Right? Everything is alive. Everything is alive because there is the kind of spark of the divine source of life in everything. And so Hitbonenut, contemplation, is really about helping us feel this awe and this love for the divine source of life, just naturally, spontaneously, by contemplating nature. Because if we take time to really contemplate the world, then, as Maimonides said, we will naturally feel this awe and this love. And so that's an invitation to do such a contemplation. And it's not a visual contemplation, because we're not going outside and looking at the sky, which is a thing I really encourage you to do also. This is different. This is a visualization. So we'll contemplate today the sky with our eyes closed. And so I want to invite you to bring your eyes to a close, to check that you're sitting very comfortably. Maybe to take a couple of deep breaths of landing, of arriving. Making ourselves available for this moment. And so we'll take a few minutes of quieting, just quieting, so that we can be more available, present to our Hitbonenut meditation. So, for just these 3 minutes of quieting, just literally feeling your body sitting, breathing, letting your thoughts do what they do. Just that. We're inviting ourselves to change frequency just by sitting still and letting everything be just as it is. Only we stay still. We hold space. And just keeping coming back to presence. It doesn't matter how many times my thoughts are taking me away from this moment. And contemplation starts with the capacity to be present. So we're practicing presence here. And so let's take a beautiful breath in and out. Today we're contemplating the sky. And when we contemplate nature, creation, it's an opportunity to see various aspects of the divine, various midot of the divine, which are reflected within us. And with the theme we choose for today is the sky is a teacher of generosity, this aspect of God, generosity. And so I want to invite you to, with your eyes closed, just visualize the sky, but really from a human perspective. So I'm not going to talk about the vast, black universe and stars and galaxies and planets, just the sky from a human perspective, which is basically this kind of blue covering around the earth, this blue sukkah, this roof, this envelope of air that we take for granted so often, and yet how incredibly generous it is to us. That if we didn't have the ozone, then we couldn't be alive. We would be floating into space. We would be burnt by the sun or frozen by the cold of space. And so the first aspect of generosity of this sky, from a human perspective, it's protection. The first aspect of generosity is protection. When we're born on this planet, we're being protected by the sky. So just taking a moment to appreciate this, to connect to the sky. And sometimes we don't see it so much because it's covered with clouds. Sometimes it's completely pure, uncovered. But it's always there. Right? That's another aspect of generosity. It's like it's relentlessly here. It keeps giving itself. Very, very faithful. It keeps giving itself. It keeps protecting us. It keeps protecting the earth and life on this planet, no matter what we do to it. And it's also so forgiving. And we know that the ozone is kind of being attacked by all the pollution that we've done, especially in the second half of the 20th century. And yet it keeps being there. It keeps giving everything it can give. And on a symbolic level, it's also what keeps our world in order. That we have a roof, we have a sky, we have a roof above our heads. We're not floating into space. It's not chaotic. That when we look at the narrative of Bereshit, really the first line of Bereshit, the opening of the Torah, the beginning of the world, and the beginning of our Torah, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, the divine created the sky. And I'm sure we've all experienced this, and perhaps these past few months, especially for Jews in Israel and in the world, that sometimes the world feels turned upside down, right? That things feel absurd and really turned upside down. And yet the sky keeps telling us there is a ground, there is a sky, It can stand tall. The world is in order. That's the beginning of the world. Beginning of the world is exiting Tovavo, V'aretz hayta Tovavo. It's creating some seder, creating some order. A ground, to have our feet on the ground, and a sky above our heads. Just a moment to feel, and perhaps you're starting to feel like I do when I'm looking at all these aspects, when I'm contemplating, כשאני מתבוננת, התבוננות, contemplating all these facets of generosity of the sky and of the divine through the functions that the sky is playing on earth, for life on earth. I'm starting to feel gratitude and awe, also amazement at this magical blue layer of air protecting us, creating beauty, and that's also part of generosity. It's just so beautiful, the sky. Helping us take some distance sometimes when we feel down. My cousin used to say, when you feel down, look up and just look at the sky, and it's like giving us perspective, helping us feel like the world is in order, protecting us physically so that there can be life on earth. And so I want to invite you to continue for yourself to kind of contemplate what aspects of the generosity of the sky and of the divine behind it you connect the most to. And can we bask in this generosity of the sky for us humans and us all living creatures, as the sky gives sunshine and rain, becomes transparent at night so we can rest, and then the sky becomes bright in the morning so we can wake up. The incredible beauty and inspiration it gives us, the perspective and lightness it offers when we need perspective. And as I was starting this meditation, I was having in mind this pasuk that we say in the Yamim Noraim, in the high holidays. Hashem, Hashem, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet. And when I contemplate the sky, I'm seeing all his attributes, all his divine attributes: mercy, rachum, chanun, graceful, grace, that we receive free gifts, slow to anger, so forgiving, right, with pollution, just keeping faithfully giving us oxygen and protecting us, and filled with chesed, loving kindness, and truth also. When it rains, it rains. When it pours, it pours. And so, friends, this is an invitation to keep connecting to the beauty of the sky, and to feel wonder. We need to feel wonder again, to feel the magic and the beauty and the generosity. This is a very beautiful way to connect to the divine. And as our meditation today comes to a close, I want to invite you to set an intention to embody one aspect of this generosity of the sky in your life today. Just a moment to setting an intention. The first thing that comes to mind. And let's take a beautiful breath in and out. A moment to thanking ourselves for making this time in our day, these 20 precious minutes of contemplation, and really connecting to the divine through connecting to nature and remembering to be grateful, and thanking each other. And now we'll see you soon.